About to watch this beast. I'm gonna tell you how I thought in just a few minutes. So I watched Godzilla Kong, The New Empire, and it's about what I expected. I'm getting older. I'm starting to see I'm a little curmudgeon-y about some things. Godzilla vs. Kong should have been one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, like a kaiju revelation, and it mostly just made me mad, start to finish. For reasons I stand by. Mostly. I don't know. But before seeing The New Empire, I swore, turn my brain off, go in and try have fun. And I did. I want to make that clear. For all the criticisms that I have about Adam Wingard and what he's done to the MonsterVerse at large, the guy can deliver on some pretty stellar monster moments. He lets the monsters actually carry the story a lot, which was surprising, especially Kong. And honestly, the movie is stronger during those scenes. I like that even one kaiju in particular has an arc of sorts, and there's even some light commentary, which was a little surprising. And no lie, there's at least one scene with Godzilla in this movie that's one of my favorite moments in film with him ever. And I mean that sincerely. And I will say, where Godzilla vs. Kong felt like a disjointed mess because, half the story got trimmed out of the movie, The New Empire at least feels like a whole cohesive story with none of the major bits missing. It just happens to be ridiculous is all. It still edits too fast, and it still completely steamrolls dramatic moments for the sake of brevity. And even though this movie is truly packed with monster action, so many fights. Even the longest ones feel like they're over too soon. Like, even during the final battle, I kinda wish it had been 5 or 10 minutes longer. But it was fun. I had fun. Having said that, gotta get something off my chest. The discourse surrounding this movie and the MonsterVerse at large for the last few years has driven me insane. It's too big a topic to go into, and I'm not gonna right now. But my frank opinion, warts and all, is that I preferred the MonsterVerse when it took itself more seriously. Not that Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island didn't have their sillier moments too, they did. But for the most part, the mission statement was, treat kaiju a little more seriously. And the emotional whiplash of seeing the franchise start that way and then tonally end up where it is now bothers me a little bit. I also understand that it doesn't bother other people as much as it bothers me, and that's fine. I'm not into gatekeeping bullcrap. Like what you like. Everyone on Earth is just trying to get through the day because they're miserable, and I'm not going to make it harder on you for liking something I don't. I'm not going to judge you for it. But it's hard for me personally to not see each movie in the franchise as it's moved forward as not being a reactionary corporate decision based on the previous movie's flaws and criticisms, and the powers that be in control of the MonsterVerse just kind of learning all the wrong lessons from it. It's not the same, but it's very similar reasons why people are very critical of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, or how Sony continues to handle Spider-Man properties without Marvel. Madam Web. Ugh. I know that movies are about making money. That's not lost on me. But sometimes, the money-making angle is so blatantly obvious to the point that it brings you out of the experience and you get a little pessimistic about it. And it's kind of like what happens to horror franchises like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. They start out deathly serious, and then 10 movies later, they've become parodies of themselves. Some people hate that, and some people love it. I will say this, though, and this is keeping myself accountable here. There's a certain amount of symmetry that's happened here. It took the MonsterVerse 4 movies to get into this truly silly territory, from Godzilla 2014 to Godzilla vs. Kong. But it took 3 movies to get from the original Godzilla from 1954, one of the most deathly serious movies ever made, period, without a monster in it or not, to King Kong vs. Godzilla, where King Kong has electric powers and tries to choke Godzilla out with a tree. So, yeah. I still had fun, okay? And it's doing pretty good at the box office, so chances are we're probably going to get another one. Adam Wingard has even said he wants to do a trilogy of Godzilla Kong movies, so he'll probably get that chance. And God knows I will probably be there to see it. Grumble, grumble. Side note. I like Godzilla Rosé. The pink is pretty cool.